Alrighty, so I know it's a little bit of a unconventional sort of video, but I'm honestly genuinely excited for the next update, like the big update, not like the off week that we're about to get potentially for the next global update, but the one after that should be the one that JP and Korea just got, which in turn brings a new banner out, which brings a new Ragnarok unit, and it also brings in the newest creature nest boss, which, sorry, spoiler alert if you haven't already been caught up, but I don't know, honestly, just both of those things, after looking at them and sort of getting, you know, a little bit more info on the whole thing, I'm just kind of excited for it, because if you don't know me specifically, I am a PvE player. I don't really like PvP all that much, but I mean, I tolerate it. It is what it is. I think that's one of the big things that brings people and players to Grand Cross, is the fact that it has PvP, because that's what a lot of people like. But for me personally, I really like when they add new PvE stuff. So the new Creature's Nest boss is really, really, really cool, in my opinion. We're going to look at it in just a second. Obviously, all of the stuff on JP and Korea is in Japanese and Korean, so I can't read any of it. So I'm not super informed on like how the boss and everything like that works yet, but I want to look at the boss and everything like that and kind of mess with it a little bit, even though I definitely don't have the resources for it on the JP account that I'm going to be using, because I don't have the good like teams or anything like that. I don't have good units or anything. I just literally want to go into the boss and sort of look at it and mess with it. But let's start with Scotty. So brand new unit, Titan Scotty is coming out, and I don't know, personally I'm just in a spot right now where I've literally been playing through God of War because it came out on PC, and I guess that is also tying into the fact that I'm learning a lot about Norse mythology and just how interesting and cool it is, and all of the Ragnarok stuff that they have been bringing to the game is tied into Norse mythology, and I just think it's really, really interesting. And so Scotty is actually a figure from Norse mythology, which I think is really, really cool, that they're basing like the different characters and stuff like that off of it. Obviously not every single one of them are. A lot of the stuff is completely original content, and it's very loosely based on, like, you know, some of the stuff from Norse mythology, because they obviously have free reign. They can do whatever they want with it. But I just think it's really cool. And the new unit, honestly, I think is good for the game. I think it's like a new interesting unit that stands a chance in the meta, and also will help shake things up for the meta, and sort of give people options, because honestly that's the biggest reason I don't like PvP in the game, is that I feel like most of the time it's not really bad right now, but there have been times in the past where a new unit comes out, people find the best unit or best team for that unit, and then that's the only team anybody runs because nothing else stands a chance, and there's no options out there. I would love to be able to just run other things. I don't always want to run the meta stuff because that's boring to me. I still see people use the original, the one Escanor team with Gother and Goddess Liz with Lostvayne in the back. I don't necessarily see people using Lostvayne in the back nowadays. I think people are more prone to using like Bond per se, because he has a really high CC and stuff like that. But I still see people use that team, and I mean, people have been using that team since Escanor came out, and even then before that, I mean, instead of Escanor on that team, it was like Lostvayne or whoever was like the big heavy hitter. But I mean, there's still going to be people who run, you know, old metas or this and that, but at the moment, I feel like the meta is pretty diverse. There is a big problem with Kyo at the moment, and I think the devs have sort of found that, and they're like, okay, Kyo is a problem because people are running Kyo, who not only puts a ton of ignite so that way you deal more damage to the enemy, but his passive makes it to where for every ignite on the enemy, I think you take less damage as well, so it makes it even harder to kill. Plus, people finally figured out that you can run Festival Zeldris along with Kyo and buff your basic stats because they have a ton of debuffs on them, and just that combo is so strong. Like, it's ridiculous how much like one shot potential there is for a lot of the units in the game, and this character is going to help eliminate that sort of Kyo like first turn kill, like easy meta sort of thing, like where if you're, you know, if you go first and you have the Kyo team and they're not running dodge food or like evasion food, you know, you're not going to lose a character first turn, hopefully. Obviously, this character isn't like a must summon or anything like that, I don't think. Like, I don't think everybody's going to be like, oh my god, this new character's insane, I've got to have this character. I don't think it's going to be one of those kind of characters. So, I mean, there's still potential for people to be running Kyo and stuff like that, but with her in the game, if you summon for her and you run her, you won't have to worry about Kyo teams when they come around, because she just kind of hard counters Kyo, which is a good thing. I mean, I know it doesn't sound like a good thing, because I know a lot of people are like, like I bought real, I spent my real money on cosmetics for a character so that way I could out CC people, so that way I could use them and everything like that. But, you know, diversity is a good thing in the meta. So if you don't know what she does, let's look at her really quickly, because I don't want this to be like a super long video. But her passive is, for every debuff on the hero, decrease all enemies attack and defense by 8% and increases the damage of allies skills by 15%. So obviously there's no cap on that. It's not limited to any specific game mode, so you can use it in PvP, you can use it in PvE, and that's just pretty strong. Like, it just, the fact that that stacks so much is kind of ridiculous. And if you don't know, because Kyo puts 2 ignite stacks on, you know, the enemy every single turn over, you know, a couple of turns, she's gonna have so many debuffs on her along with whoever else you're running. I mean, you know, and it'll just, if she has so many debuffs on her, obviously you're not going to be able to deal any damage, because your attack's going to be super low, you're going to take a lot of damage because your defense is going to be super low, and you're going to be dealing more damage because of, you know, the end of the passive as well. So it's just, that is a huge direct counter to Kyo, which I think the game needed, because, I mean, one-shot potential is kind of cool here and there, but at the same time, it makes for a bad, like, experience for a lot of players, because it literally just comes down to, I get out CC'd. If I was running CC food, that means obviously I have no protection against it. I'm basically going to get hit. You know, at the moment, it's going to be, I'm going to get hit twice with Escanor. It's going to feed, you know, the new Meliodas' buffs, and then he's going to use his Amplify card to one-shot my unit. Like, that's pretty much how it goes. Those 3 cards, not every single time, but more often than not, are going to kill 1 unit at the very beginning of the game, and that's really annoying sometimes. So, I don't know. Should help maybe alleviate some of that, which I think will be really nice. We're not going to go over the entire unit, but I think as a whole, she's just really interesting and sounds fun. I was kind of expecting them to release a unit that would help out with the new boss, but I think this is a pretty decent, you know, unit as well. I think this one's kind of fun. Obviously, not limited to anything, so you can actually get some decent use out of the character. And I mean, yeah, just pretty interesting altogether. If you haven't seen, though, there is a new boss. It is the Stag, Ichthyrnir. I think that's how you pronounce that. Not positive. But it's a stag or a deer. And I honestly just, I love the stage that they made for this boss. Obviously, you can't read any of these passives or anything like that because they're in Japanese, but the boss just in general is just super cool to me. Like, I have no idea what any of these passives are or what any of the, like, mechanics to the stages are themselves, and obviously this is not a good team for the boss. These 2 characters, I think, are on the main team, and then you would want to use, like, maybe Meliodas and then Red Matrona, but this account does not have the new Meli. It does not have Red Matrona, so it's not like this is going to be a real run anyway, but I do want to hop in and just kind of look at the stage and sort of, like, I don't know, just examine the boss, because I honestly think that they've been doing a really good job with just, like, making things look good. And, like, this boss, if you watch the cutscene and just the stage, I love this stage so much. Like, I hate to just, like, completely, like, brag on the game at the moment, but I'm excited for this. I think it looks really, really like cool and fun. You know, you're on, like, this little, like, island sort of thing. It might not be a complete island because I don't know what's back here, but you're on, like, this little island, and there's, like, the lake, and there's just shooting stars and the moon and everything. I don't know. I just think that this stage is specifically really, really cool. The boss is really neat. He makes a bunch of really cool sounds and stuff like that. And just in general, I just think they did a really good job with it. So I'm just excited to play it as a PvE player, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. So, I don't know. Obviously, I stand no chance here. This isn't supposed to be like a boss showcase or anything like that, but I'm just excited. Figured I'd get you guys' opinion. Didn't really have a video to put out today specifically on anything super specific, obviously. So yeah, I don't know, that's pretty much it. I don't have anything else to say. Hopefully you guys, you know, enjoyed the video. Let me know. I don't know, I guess, but that is it from me. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys tonight for the news. So see you then.